But we should be suspicious when they keep coming back and you keep having to get another course of antibiotics to treat a lump or boil again. Hi guys, welcome! In the first video of this series, we looked at the origins or the causes of hidradenitis suppurativa. We answered questions such as whether it's caused by inflammation, or it's an autoimmune condition, or something else. If you've not yet watched that video and perhaps you've been thinking that HS is a type of acne, or maybe it's caused by bad hygiene, please stop. You need to go and have a look at that video. Here is the link, and I'm going to place it for you in the description box as well. For those of you who did see the first video, remember that we said that even skin specialists are not really sure what causes hidradenitis. Still, it's thought that your hormones, genes, and immune system can play a role. So already there's some confusion about how it develops. Remember, we estimate that 1 to 4 in 1,000 people have this condition. So it's not that rare, but it's quite uncomfortable to discuss. So the actual numbers of people who have this condition probably being underestimated. But today, let's take a look at some of the symptoms that happen in HS, and in particular let's consider those ones that often get us doctors going off in the wrong direction and treatment, which means a delay in the right diagnosis and treatment that many people with HS do experience. In women, hidradenitis commonly begins around puberty and after the first period or menarche. So the initial symptom may look like pimples or acne. In fact, another name for HS is acne inversa, but it is not acne, and therefore treating it with some common acne treatments may not help in the long term. Different skin lesions can happen in HS, and they include lumps of different sizes, pustules, papules or nodules, which are circular solid lumps of different sizes, some ranging from less than 1 centimeter and others are a lot bigger. They could be painful or painless. Next, we have abscesses, and these are painful fluctuant lumps which appear very angry or inflamed. We sometimes commonly refer to these lumps as boils. When they happen singly or by themselves, they can indicate mild or early and moderate HS disease. The next type of skin condition you find in HS is known as the tunnel. Now, tunnels are linear spaces formed under the skin which have developed over some time. They might be empty and just open up into the skin surface with holes, or they contain material draining from the skin opening. These indicate more moderate to severe disease when they are present. In severe disease, the typical picture that people have are several nodules or abscesses, tunnels and scars. They could be present to different degrees and at the same time. The nodules or abscesses can go away for some time when they are treated with antibiotics, but we should be suspicious when they keep coming back and you keep having to get another course of antibiotics to treat a lump or boil again. Instead of more antibiotics, really we should be thinking about the possibility of another diagnosis such as hidradenitis. So if in the last 6 months you've developed at least 2 boils or more in any parts of the body, especially the underarm, groin and genital areas, or underneath your breasts, we have to consider a diagnosis of hidradenitis suppurativa. Other locations where HS can happen are your neck or the abdomen and the buttocks. In addition, having the following features may also support the diagnosis or the decision for your general practitioner or primary care provider to refer you for specialist care. Being overweight or being a smoker, or having a family history of hidradenitis suppurativa. Some other conditions are also associated with HS, and they may or may not be present at the same time you're having these boils, tunnels, or abscesses. One is PCOS or polycystic ovary syndrome. The next is a pilonidal sinus, having acne or pimples, or inflammatory bowel diseases such as ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease, or inflammatory arthritis like psoriasis. Still talking about symptoms when you have hidradenitis, there's an often very little mentioned aspect of the mental health issues associated with this disease. Now, given the recurring nature of the symptoms, the delay in just getting the right diagnosis, the patchy availability of experts and specialists on this condition in many parts of the world, and its complex treatment. It's not unusual for people with HS to suffer with conditions like anxiety, mood changes, a low self-esteem, and poor perception of their body image. With HS being a chronic disease, you may also experience systemic symptoms from conditions that accompany it, such as anemia. With anemia, where you have low blood hemoglobin levels, you might feel tired with low energy and poor motivation, along with other anemia features. In addition to these symptoms of the boils and abscesses and tunnels or scars that we've talked about, which go along with hidradenitis. Yet another symptom that accompanies HS is pain, and that can be to different degrees whether the disease is active or not. So these are some of the symptoms associated with HS, a chronic disease where you have flare-ups from time to time, and which even now we're still struggling with lengthy delays to getting a proper diagnosis. Hopefully, armed with information about it like this, more people will feel empowered to approach their health providers for help getting a correct diagnosis and the right treatment. And speaking of treatment, that's the topic of the next video in this series. So please give this one a like, and don't forget to share it with a friend who you think might help it useful. If you've got any questions around HS and its symptoms or treatments, please send them to my email health information service. Here's the link, and I will put it in the description box as well. And I will see you again in the next video.